Emil Durkheim, in The Division of Labor in Society, investigates how advanced civilizations preserve a sense of identity through creating moral solidarity. I would like to investigate to what extent powerful individuals within society have the ability to direct the collective moral consciousness to turn on their enemies. I'm going to be looking at the feud happening between Meghan Markle and the royal family to argue how cancel culture is the result of the weaponization of the collective consciousness amplified over the tech space. Durkheim discusses two forms of solidarity. Mechanical solidarity is consisted of common values and common beliefs, which works to form a collective consciousness. Durkheim associates mechanical solidarity with more primitive societies and characterizes the type of society whose cohesion was exclusively the result of resemblances and an absolutely homogeneous mass as a horde. By contrast, Durkheim characterizes organic solidarity as a form of social relation in a more complex society with a greater division of labor. In a society organized with organic solidarity, there is a need to follow uniform rules in order to maintain relations between different individuals. Laws sanction and legitimize these commonly held moral principles by instituting punishments for those who break them. As Durkheim defines it, a crime offends sentiments which are found among all normal individuals of any given society. These sentiments are strong. They are defined. A crime is then an act which offends strong and defined sentiments of the collective consciousness. In this regard, there is no objective definition of what a crime is. It is rather what offends the general sentiment of the people. As Time magazine put it, cancel culture is the idea that if you do something that others deem problematic, you automatically lose all your currency. Currency, in this definition, is meant in the more abstract sense. It's not about material wealth, but rather social currency, influence, and power within the social sphere. The Time article acknowledges that cancel culture is rooted in allowing marginalized people to express themselves and call out problematic behavior and hold people accountable for their negative actions. Most prominent examples of cancel culture exist in the celebrity sphere. While many celebrities are rightfully canceled, such as R. Kelly and Michael Jackson for their predatory behavior, the idea of cancel culture has also been weaponized by people in power in order to take down their opponents. Cancel culture embodies the notion of weaponizing the collective moral consciousness of a society in order to get them to gain your same opinion about a different person. Meghan Markle, who was raised in the United States, was always considered an outsider to the British royal family since she began dating Prince Harry in 2017. After trying to publicly adjust to being part of the British royal family, in 2020, Harry and Meghan announced their plans to leave their senior royal duties. Since officially leaving the royal household, the palace has tried a smear campaign on Markle's character. The Times reporter was approached by royal palace aides and one of Markle's former advisors, filing a bullying complaint against her. Attacks on her character have continued to prevail in the British media. Rumors also surfaced that Meghan made Duchess Kate Middleton cry about dresses for Princess Charlotte's outfit for Meghan and Harry's wedding. Sources claim that the Queen felt Harry and Meghan's announcement to rescind their royal duties was sudden and brought much unwanted attention to the family at the worst possible time. Meghan's tell-all interview in March of 2021 tells a very different story, however. From the crying incident, which actually indicated that Kate made Meghan cry, to the fact that the royal family was concerned about the color of her baby's skin, as Meghan is of mixed race descent, it came to create a completely different narrative, where Meghan was the one who was victimized by the royal family. The press releases being made by the palace and the anonymous tips being given by royal advisors constitute an attempt to assault Meghan's character in order to preserve the identity of the royal family. Cancel culture, in its inception, was meant to give marginalized people a way to hold people in power more accountable. It's now being used by the powerful in order to publicly turn people against their enemies in favor of their own gain. Well, on one hand, the idea of a collective moral consciousness holds society together, as Durkheim explores. It can also be weaponized to bring vulnerable groups down if it is being used by people in power. Durkheim explores how some laws are aimed at things which actually would not destabilize society. As Durkheim puts it, what social danger is there in touching a tabooed object, an impure animal or man, in letting the sacred fire die down? He continues, we know, however, what a large place in the repressive law of many people's ritual, regimentation, etiquette, ceremonial, and religious practices play. These examples illustrate how, in reality, criminal acts in a complex society are the actions which seem most harmful to the society that represses them, not the acts which actually hurt and destabilize social life the most. In this way, the collective moral consciousness of a society is highly defined by perception. It is important to consider how this perception is created. The royal family is in an immense position of power over this perception. They are political and social figureheads in British culture, and their attempt to slander Markle's character has not gone unnoticed by the public. Markle, in choosing to do a tell-all interview with Oprah, has made an attempt to set the narrative straight. Markle is quoted to say, I don't know how they could expect that after all this time we would just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us. She goes on to say, I never thought this would be easy, but I thought it would be fair. This comment gets at the heart of the subjectivity with which the moral compass of society is determined. It is not an objectively fair standard, but rather it's defined by the commonly held beliefs that people have. And currently, people are deciding whether they want to believe the palace or Meghan Markle and Prince Harry in their narrative. Though this feud has become the subject of gossip magazines, through a Durkheim lens, it is really a war over the moral consciousness of this people.